It's not the cartoon demons you've got to worry about. It's weak men in positions of power. They're the most dangerous. Men with no principles but the desire for self-preservation. Hollow men who live in terror of being revealed for who they really are. Men who will do anything to save themselves. That's who you should be afraid of.
Yeah, that's Tucker Carlson's lead-in to a tale about Attorney General Merrick Garland somehow sicking the FBI on innocent Christian families across the country. Now, although that monologue led to a Fox News style fiction, well, Tucker's sensational lead-up really would have been accurate if he were talking about himself, him and his colleagues, of course. That fact became evident as we've recently learned of damning correspondence that Fox News anchors and hosts sent in the wake of the 2020 presidential election results. Now, these communications were unsealed by the court that's overseeing Dominion Voting's defamation lawsuit against the right-wing network. And they're also telling when it comes to the dangers of weak men at Fox News. This per The Intercept. On November 12th, 2020, 9 days after the election, Carlson flagged a tweet for Hannity and Ingram by Fox reporter Jacqui Heinrich. In it, Heinrich had accurately pointed out that there was no evidence for then President Donald Trump's preposterous claims about the election being stolen by Dominion voting machines. Also, Carlson texted his fellow host, "Please get her fired. Seriously, what the F? I'm actually shocked it needs to stop immediately, like tonight. It's measurably hurting the company. The stock price is down, not a joke." Heinrich didn't lose her job, but her tweets soon seemed to disappear. Now, at about the same time, Carlson texted his producer that we're playing with fire for real. An alternative like Newsmax could be devastating for us. Those texts also revealed that Carlson called Donald Trump a demonic force and worried that the former president would destroy Fox if they didn't play it right. And I really don't know how people watch Tucker Carlson or Fox News really knowing that they're peddling absolute lies. The lack of integrity here seems to be alarming to me as a viewer. Cenk, do you feel the same?
Yes, I want to read the next quote from Rupert Murdoch that came out in the Dominion lawsuit, because I think it's very applicable here too. He had written to others, "Wake up call for Hannity, who's been privately disgusted by Trump for weeks, but was scared to lose viewers." So Tucker Carlson's scared that his beloved stock price for Fox News is dropping. Hannity's scared that they're losing viewers, and they're all scared of the big tough guy Donald Trump. You could see it in all their correspondence. They're wetting themselves. Like, oh, what's Donald Trump gonna do? We're so scared. Now I'm gonna reread for you guys what you saw from Tucker Carlson. He said, "They're the most dangerous, men with no principles but the desire for self-preservation. Hollow men who live in terror of being revealed for who they really are, men who will do anything to save themselves." It is the picture-perfect description of Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. So now you might think like, he knows that this is all in the press right now. Why would he do this segment where he tells on himself? Because this is an old trick by the right wing, and they do this really well, and I give them credit for it, right? Whatever they do, they project onto others. So that when you say, hey, wait, that's what you do, they're like, oh yeah, I said it first. I said it first. It's actually a trick that corrupt politicians use all across the world. They'll get in office, they'll steal a lot of money, and then as soon as somebody points out that they're stealing money, they'll say, he's corrupt, okay? And oftentimes they'll do it even before the person, like the minute they say another politician is honest, they'll charge them with corruption, okay? So that's what Tucker Carlson is doing here, an old rhetorical trick where he tells you who he is while pretending that it's the people on the other side. But I want to read one more thing. Right after that, Tucker said, that's who you should be afraid of. Ironic, by the way. It's the weak men that are scared, that's the problem. But remember, you should be afraid of them. Okay, also hilarious, but hold, it gets better. And you can see that in our current moment, the weakest are the most destructive. How much of this childhood do you think Adam Kinzinger spent hanging from the wedgie nail? How many swirlies did Eric Swalwell endure in high school? Do you see what he's doing there? He's saying they're nerds, and nerds are weak and they should get wedgies and swirlies, and we're the bullies. He's talking to his audience Like, hey, remember when you were the bully in high school? How much fun was that? You bullies should be in charge. Those are the nerds we used to give wedgies to. They're the weak men who are the real problem. When you see someone that you think might be a little weak, you should hit them. Okay. Meanwhile, by the way, tough guy bully on air, off air is like, Donald Trump, he's a demonic force. I don't know what to do. The stock price is going down. Okay, that's who freaking Tucker Carlson is.
I'm sorry, I kind of hold laughter then the whole time. This is the entire Republican Party. He just described like literally like the foundational roots of the entire Republican Party. It is nothing but like the most fragile, pathetic, weak men who are like terrified of like anybody else in the world. That's why their big fear is cancel culture. They talk about cancel culture because they're like, oh my goodness gracious, what if somebody calls out how terrible I am and then I get embarrassed and people won't talk to me or whatever? Like everything about the Republican Party is just like this peak like weakness and fragility. And like Tucker Carlson is right in the sense that that is like also the most dangerous people, right? These people who are like just so insecure about themselves and like they're just so pathetic, right? But they're pathetically dangerous. And that really is the Republican Party. That is why they're like so busy going after trans people, because nothing makes them more angry than a trans woman just being confident and like living her life, right? That's why they're terrified of women and why they want to literally just roll back the clock on women's rights, because they're just terrified of the idea of like, if women are allowed independence, they aren't gonna wanna talk to me. They won't wanna talk to me. Like, and it's like, just change yourself, bro. Like, I don't know, like just be like a better person. Stop being like so horrible to be around. It's not that difficult. Like, but that's like everything about the Republican Party. And like I, as a trans woman, I see these people all over the time, like all over the place, but especially in my DMs, okay? These people are always like sliding in and they're like both like the most pathetic people you'll ever see, but also like these are like the most dangerous people you'll ever see, because they will switch on a dime, right? Like the very minute that they don't get everything that they want in the world. And so, yeah, no, this is the entire Republican Party. This is like almost every single person within the Republican Party, with the maybe rare exception of like somebody who's just so rich and just genuinely hates poor people. I don't know.
Sorry, let me just agree with Ben on two things. Number one, the funny thing is Ben is right, that Tucker is right. Like the essence of the speech about weak, hollow men that do damage is correct. It's just ironic because it's them, not us, right? And if you're wondering, wait, guys, you're saying that they're bullies and then they're weak. How does that work? No, that's exactly how it works. So when I was younger, I loved to fight, and that's why I became a middle linebacker. Is it just because you could hit people in a sanctioned way, right? And so, but I despise the idea of hitting someone that I perceive to be weaker than me. That's so sad. Who does that, right? And what that wound up creating was I wound up fighting bullies a lot when I was a kid, all from elementary school through high school, okay? Because I was like, look, I like to fight, and this guy's gonna try to pick on somebody who's weaker, I'll be your Huckleberry, right? And what I know from that experience, and now I fight bullies for a living, the right wing is nothing but bullies, right? Is that when you go to step up, it's that thing that you've heard in the movies and stuff, it's totally true. Some of the bullies will fight you, but most of them run, because a bully doesn't want to fight someone who is equal or stronger. A bully wants to fight someone who's weaker. And the reason for that is because they're insecure. They hate themselves and they're trying to take it out on someone else. So the bully will never pick on someone who has equal or greater strength. Whereas I fought 6 guys at once. I loved it. I'm like, that's a challenge. And I, by the way, don't do that. Is back in Jersey, I would, in a different era, probably ill-advised, okay? But these guys are weak. They're weak. That's why they all go looking around for someone they could victimize. But if they're ever challenged in a real way, they cower. And again, look, we're the fairest show in America. That's the one upside of Donald Trump. I think he's thin-skinned. I think we could, fight that bully super easy if corporate Democrats would ever get out of the way, right? But he's still stronger than all of the other Republicans. What we've learned now is that, my God, the other Republicans are so pathetic. I mean, they see Donald Trump and everybody just rushes to the CVS to get Depends. They put on their adult diapers and they just wet themselves in the corner. I want to be in Texas. I want to be in Texas. Why don't you man up and fight back? Nope, because they're all Fox News. Every one of them is a coward, extreme coward. And that's what leads to bullies.
Absolutely correct. And there were so many cowards who just lap it up. Tucker Carlson tonight averaged 3.3 million viewers last year and still remains the top attraction for viewers aged 25 to 54. It's really gross. And in addition to that, we saw other Fox News hosts like Sean Hannity, thanks to the January 6th commission. We saw how he was nervously texting Donald Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, in the lead up to the Capitol riots. He said something of the nature of, I do not see January 6th happening the way Trump is being told. And then meanwhile, Laura Ingraham had a few things to say of Trump's attorneys, namely Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani. The host sent this text to her colleague, Tucker Carlson. Sidney is a complete nut. No one will work with her. Ditto with Rudy. And Ingraham wasn't alone in those thoughts. Hannity also called Giuliani an insane person and an effing lunatic. It's clear that Fox News is peddling fictions that it can't get behind. And of course, it doesn't want anyone to see who it really is. But at the same time, I really do not know if people would give a damn.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.